So I was looking at my numbers and I was trying to evaluate like what are you paying for that you can eliminate because you're not really using it. And I thought that I would bring you all along with me and maybe throw in some extra things just because this is something I do periodically, and I think it would help you out to figure out like what are some things, some expenses that you could really eliminate from your budget, and kind of like how I go through the process of trying to decide like what should I eliminate, what should I look into. The first thing that I pay for, which I actually probably need to move this over into my business budget, but it's not in my business budget, it is in my personal budget, so I need to actually think about this. But so I pay for a Patreon membership, and it's actually a business expense, so I actually need to put it in my business budget. So I'm going to keep it though, because I do feel that it is worth having it. I actually use it, but I need to remove it from my personal budget and put it in my business budget. For anyone who has like businesses and things like that, because I am a CPA, I'm an accountant, this is not advice. I do believe that like even if you have a side hustle, your side hustle needs its own budget. I see a lot of people mix their stuff together, but you really can't tell how the business is doing separately unless you have it separate. It also makes it easier for you when you are doing your taxes at the end of the year, because you know what business expenses you have, and those are things that you should be submitting for write-off for your business, right? It should be separate, and so I'm moving mine over to business. Now, I had personal Patreons. I got rid of one earlier last year, like for a personal, like it was a podcast I enjoyed. I ended up getting rid of it because they weren't uploading enough for mine. Like if I'm paying for that or whatever. But if you have like personal ones, evaluate those too. Like, are you actually listening? Are you taking advantage of what they are offering? Because if you're not really using it, then there's no reason why you should be paying for it. It doesn't make sense. Insurance. So with our insurance, we pay car insurance, renter's insurance, we have rental property insurance, and valuable personal property insurance. So valuable personal property includes things like jewelry. You know, if you have lots of electronics, stuff like that, you can include in your valuable personal property. I was looking at the insurance that we pay for because we're definitely about to make some insurance adjustment, and it's going to be an interesting time with that. But I will tell you, so my rental property insurance, I used to have all of this at one company, but 2 years ago, maybe I pulled out my rental property insurance policy because I felt like I could get a better rate somewhere else with the same coverages. And I did. But even with that, those prices are jumping because with insurance, if the state that your property or whatever is in, if they adjust the insurance rates, it's going to increase. So I already know for a fact my rental property insurance is going to renew July 1st. I am going to start looking in, let's say, I'm going to just start looking. Let's just say that. I want to say March, April, but probably in April, I'll start looking to get quotes so that I can decide, and I need to make a decision. I like to make a decision by like May so I can have everything set up to let you know that you're not getting renewed, and I'm going to you if I decide to leave. But that's something I'm looking into changing up, just so that, first of all, we're always looking at the bottom line, especially with the rental property. So it's more so a business side of it. Like, you want the bottom line to stay where you are profitable, and so I want to make sure that that works out in my favor. If the insurance is the cheapest that I find, then we're gonna stick with it. Valuable personal property. This is something that I actually wanted to change in my renewal in January, but because I was last minute, I just let it ride. But I had personal property insurance on some items before, including like my wedding band, wedding ring, all of that. It was cheaper than, or significantly cheaper than what I'm being charged now by my current insurance company. And so, not saying because there's some years in between, right? But I am going to look for quotes and see who is offering a better deal, and if I find a better deal, then I may pull this policy itself out from the rest, even if I stick with my same insurance company. My renter's insurance, I feel like is a fair price overall because I know what we have paid. But I do think that as a whole, from an insurance standpoint, I'm going to be looking for new insurance. All right, Verizon Fios. We've talked about this before. So this is cable. If you have cable and you're not really using the cable and you got 50 million thousand streaming, I'm going to need you to reevaluate. You can't have all the streaming and the cable. It don't make sense. So if that's the case, then that's something you should look into. I know that we're not getting rid of Fios. I have tried. This is my compromise area. But if you are able to convince your significant other or you or somebody who lives by yourself, that's something that you should consider, is getting rid of cable. Definitely keep your internet because you're going to need to stream. But you want to figure out, like, is there a way that you can get rid of your cable and stream, and not stream in a way where you have so many streaming services that you're basically paying for cable. Like, that doesn't make sense either. So you want to be considerate of that. So you want to look at all your streaming services, which ones you're using the most, and see how that works out for you. And y'all know how to work it out if you need to work it out. I'm not even going to tell you on here. You know what you need to do. The gym. So I pay for a gym membership. Yes, I do use it. So I am not going to get rid of it yet. What I am hoping is eventually I will be getting rid of the gym membership. But as for now, I use my gym membership. But if you're not using your gym membership, like, it's one thing if you're injured and you're trying to recover, and if that's the case, maybe see if your gym membership offers a pause or something like that. But if you are not going to the gym, let's just be real with ourselves. Maybe you need to work out at home. You know what I mean? So that's something that you should definitely consider. I'm using mine, so keeping it. I have HP Ink. That is another kind of subscription. This is more so for ink for my printer. I like this process better than going to buy ink at the store because they actually track how much ink that I have, and I'm like paying for a certain amount of pages to be printed per month. It's very low. It's like $6 and something. And if I don't print all those pages, it rolls over to the next month. But what I will look into, because we're not printing that often, I'm like printing here and there. I just printed something in the last like 3 months, like last week or week before last. So I'm going to see if I can pause it possibly and go forward with like using that rollover amount until I catch up, because it doesn't make sense. And they haven't sent me any ink because I'm not using any. So that's just an option. So if you have something similar, look into it, make sure you're using it. See if you can pause it. I will say, like, I remember with Audible, I remember there was a period of time I had Audible, and if you used to follow my budgeting videos, you saw I was trying to get rid of Audible, and that's because I was not listening to the books. I was not buying books. And so what I ended up doing was like pausing it, and then I was looking for books to use because you gotta use up your credits before you cancel. And then I ended up eventually canceling. Amazon Prime. My Prime renews for the year in April. I am heavily, like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it because Amazon Prime has your girl in a chokehold, but they're not priming like they used to. And I get it, things happen, but sometimes I'm just like, and maybe, you know what, maybe, I don't know. I have 2 packages that did not show up when they were supposed to show up. And they were like, sorry, things are delayed, blah, 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 blah. I paid for Prime to get things quicker. And like, if I'm not getting what I really need quicker, like some things I don't care. But there's like certain items, you order, you need that show up when it needs to show up. The date they say you need it. And like, I'm waiting on 2 items that did show up when I needed it to show up. So I'm not too happy about that. So I'm trying to think it through and decide what I want to do. Don't be surprised if I keep it. And I'm actually giving myself till the full day before, because with Amazon Prime and a lot of these services where you sign up online, they literally renew at the time you signed up. And your girl has a habit of signing up at some crazy hours. So if I thought I was going to get up the day of and cancel, that thing renewed at 1 a.m. So I'm going to look into that, but that's something to consider also. Are you using it? Is it priming like you need it to prime? So I'll consider that, but if it's something you're not using, definitely take it out of your budget. So I had talked about streaming services already when it comes to cable, but also see if any of the services that you already pay for are actually offering streaming services for free. So in our case, like we get Netflix for free, and then I think our provider is also offering like Hulu for free. Also, like one of my credit card providers provides certain streaming services for free. So I made sure that we're signed up with and paying through that particular card so that we could get certain streaming services for free. Our cell phone provider is also now offering like Hulu for free. Now, I don't know who are eligible, and we're getting Hulu for free through my credit card, but I am going to see if we're eligible so that you can get that for free, because it doesn't make sense to pay for something if you're going to get it from a provider that you already have for free. And speaking of cell phones, if you are paying like a really large cell phone bill, maybe that's something you can look into. Also, is ways to reduce your cell phone bill. I'm telling y'all right now, your girl is looking at Mint Mobile. I'm looking at Mint Mobile. Now, I saw with Mint Mobile, you can buy a phone or you can bring a phone. So I'm definitely going to start looking into it. I will keep you all updated. I'm even thinking about just maybe, even if I don't use Mint Mobile for personal phone, because again, I have to get my husband on board and he might be down for it because paying a good amount of money. But I will keep you in the loop of my Mint Mobile journey and really looking into it, doing the research, because I am a research girly. I just don't switch just because, but I want to make sure that it's going to do what I need it to do. The coverage is going to be what I need, because we are always like traveling, and so I need to make sure whether it's in the country or international what that would look like. But even if it's not for that, maybe for like my business line, because I feel like maybe I could do Mint Mobile for my business line and save a significant amount of money. So that's something that I'm definitely looking into, but that's something that you should look into also. So definitely check out Mint Mobile. And in the comments below, let me know what are some things you're thinking about cutting from your budget right now. I gave you a few that I'm looking into based off of my budget. So hopefully I'll make you think of items in your budget that you may want to look into reducing. Now, if you have been watching this video and you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join us over here at Financialdemics, and hit the like button to let the algorithm know that you enjoy the information that I am sharing with you. And if you are working on managing your money and you're looking for a way to build out your routine when it comes to your payday, then definitely check out this video right here.